$1.64 million added to government's travel budget. New tonight on Our News Live at 7, the Prime Minister speaks. Plus, we still don't know what the NIB increase will look like. Strong recommendations, how new legislation will impact vehicle importation. Then in Our News at 7:30, come and collect 6,000 driver's licenses not picked up. If you're one of the owners, you could face a fine. Our News Live at 7 starts right now. More from the Office of the Prime Minister that's defending just over $1 million that in cost in the Office of the Prime Minister for travel. Now, the Financial Secretary and the Communications Director saying it's not so bad. Berthany McDermott has the breakdown.
$1.64 million has been reallocated in the Office of the Prime Minister to cover travel costs. Originally, $569,721 was approved for subsistence in OPM. The addition puts the travel budget now at $2.2 million. Today, Financial Secretary Simon Wilson provided his explanation.
I think they give a comparison to the COVID period when there was no travel. All right? The reality is that we live on an island. And so to do business, we have to travel. You know, we have to travel by airplane. We can't just hop in the car and drive someplace else.
The budget included multiple reallocations over the past few months. It revealed that in July 2023, $248,000 was allocated for travel to Brussels, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and to COP28 in Dubai. $100,000 was allocated for travel to Belgium, Brussels, and COP28, and another $100,000 with the same date and travel details. In October 2023, $150,000 was allocated for a trip to Orlando, Chicago, and Miami, and another $169,000 with the same date and travel details. Then there is $132,000 for travel to St. George's, Grenada.
The reality is the travel is not extraordinary.
In September 2023, there were two transfers of $100,000 for travel to Orlando to attend the ONYX magazine's Men Honoring Florida's Most Impactful and Influential Men and the 50th anniversary celebrations with the Bahamian Consulate and Diaspora. The Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister doubled down, explaining the Prime Minister is needed for every trip he attends.
When the Ministry of Foreign Affairs receive a request for travel for a heads of government meeting, the relevant host country will send over a brief overview of the agenda. The agenda will speak specifically to the kind of representation that is required.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
A magistrate today set bail at $3,000 for a policeman who allegedly tried to collect building supplies after presenting forged invoices. Lee Dormus faced charges of attempted fraud by false pretenses, possession of a forged document, and uttering a forged document at his arraignment before Magistrate Kendra Kelly. Prosecutors allege that on February 16th, Dormius went to FYP Building Supplies and attempted to collect $6,165 using two forged paid invoices. Dormius has pleaded not guilty and returns to court on May 24th for his trial. At the time of the alleged offenses, Dormius was suspended for his duties as a policeman after being charged with murder. Prosecutors say Dormius and two other officers murdered Danrico Carey at Nassau Village on November 13, 2021. Back in June last year, Prime Minister Philip Davis announced a National Insurance Board rate increase will come on stream this July. Since then, not much details have been provided to the public. Our news team caught up with Davis while attending the Hugh Campbell Basketball Championships on Wednesday, where he could not confirm what that increase would look like.
I'm waiting to get the recommendations from the board for Cabinet's further consideration. When we have that, then we'll be able to let the public know.
With just a few more months left for businesses to make the adjustments, the business community has expressed some concern. The Prime Minister had this response.
Well, I would expect that anytime you are adding, I guess, expenses to a business, that will inspire some concern. But we hope they'll be understanding as to what we're attempting to do, and that it will not be an investment in land. National insurance is an investment on the part of the employer and employee. And so they have to see it in that light. It's an investment for the future of the employees.
As it stands, vehicles being imported into the Bahamas must be no more than 10 years old, but that could possibly change in the near future in the form of a reduction. That's according to Minister of Housing and Urban Renewal Keith Bell, who said as much while conducting a massive exercise to remove nearly 600 derelict vehicles from the Anglerston community.
You'd recall that we would have passed legislation to ban the import of vehicles which were more than 10 years old coming into these communities. We have tasked all of the different departments and entities to make recommendations to this government as to whether or not we ought to ensure that we again review that and even reduce that.
A recommendation will also be made regarding the types of vehicles that can be imported.
We will be making a recommendation to this government to ensure that vehicles are not imported in this car whose titles are not salvageable. You will take note that if you go down to customs right now, there are a number of vehicles which have been severely damaged in accidents in the United States, etc. Those vehicles ought not to come into the country. That's our position unequivocally, and we're going to ensure that we make the recommendation and we pass the legislation.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Gideon, and happy Thursday evening, everybody. A beautiful day around the islands. Once again, temperatures managed to get up into the upper 70s to near the 80-degree mark. We are pretty nice on the outside right now with a few clouds. Temperature now at 71 degrees. Your winds out of the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour, and your field slight temperature a comfortable 69. Temperatures right now at 67 in Freeport, 70 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Pick up 69 in Allenstown, Bimini. Great Harbor Key, the Berry Islands, 72. Nichols San Andres, also 72. 71 in Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas, 71s in Kemps Bay, Arthurstown, Cat Island. Coburn Town, San Salvador, 70. Pair of 73s, Georgetown, Exumas, Deadman's Key, Long Island, and into the southeast Bahamas. 73s, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Chain, 73 in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay. Abrams Bay, Megawana, 71. Matthewtown, Inagua, 74. And our good neighbors to the southeast, Tricks and Caicos Islands, you are 72 at this hour. Satellite radar composite showing nothing much happening across us. High pressure is beginning to slide out towards the east. That's turning our winds more towards the east to southeast. There's a little bit of a weak boundary just between the western Bahamas and the east coast of Florida. A couple isolated showers along that boundary, but most of that will be moving into the Florida area. As that high slides out, our winds turn more towards the southeast. That's paving the way for a frontal boundary we expect to get near by Saturday. So we're looking at a couple isolated showers at that time. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, the financial secretary says the deficit to reach budget target by year's end. And what about the contracts? The opposition leader accuses government of not complying with the Public Procurement Act. When our news returns.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
So you need a part for your car.
You need a water pump for 2014 Honda Accord. Don't worry, man. I can send you to my boy. You can be straight.
But his boy isn't wimauto.com.
Hello?
You say you looking for a water pump, right?
They made you question if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, man, that's cool, right?
It did not. Luckily, wimauto.com lets you search for parts by year, make, and model.
Found it.
Plus, you can pay online for pickup or next weekday delivery.
I have a guy for that. Actually, a website.
Save time and shop with confidence on wimauto.com.
The government net deficit in the first half of the 2023-2024 budget year stands at $258.7 million. However, Financial Secretary Simon Wilson says government expected the figure to be lower. He says the deficit reduced by $19 million.
A lot has been said in the media that our overall deficit target is in the mid-year is twice our annual deficit target. But you have to recognize the cyclical nature of our economy, our revenues, that these are stronger months, and our deficit target will go down in line to what the overall target is.
In the coming 2 months, Wilson says the government is expecting 2 major flows that will bring the deficit in line with budget targets by the end of the fiscal year. He says the government has also started the process of the power of sale for delinquent property tax, another method expected to bring in a large cash flow.
Business license revenue is due March 31st. We get the bulk of our business license revenue between the second half of February and the end of March. We get the bulk of our property tax revenue between the second half of February and the end of April. So those are 2 big flows which are going to contribute to the reduction of the deficit.
Opposition leader Michael Pintard is once again slamming the Davis administration, accusing them of not complying with the Public Procurement Act. Pintard says the government is in breach of that act by failing to disclose the number of awarded contracts.
We do not know who they are giving contracts to for the most part. What is it that the Davis administration has to hide? They've entered into quite a few PPPs. We do not understand the terms of these agreements. They have also entered into loan arrangements where they have not yet concluded the terms of those loans. We've had a deputy prime minister that flew to the Far East, signed an agreement that he does not have the authority, not being the Minister of Finance, to sign. We have a housing minister that again signed a $20 million loan, again does not have the authority. So the questions are designed to get the government to explain to the Bahamian people how we are spending your money.
Before the House was prorogued back in August of 2023, the opposition put forth several questions in Parliament. Pintard claims many of those questions are still outstanding. He says the administration lacks transparency. When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Alexei Navalny's mother says she's been shown his body. Plus, why Apple says you shouldn't dry your iPhone in a bag of rice. And Nutralink, trial success as human subject said to control computer mouse with his mind. The story when our news returns.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Dinner is in the oven.
Order your favorite pizzas on the new Domino's242.com. Your favorite Domino's specials are all here to order. See your pizza as you build it, or order your favorite specialty and feast pizzas. See the progress of your pizza from the time your order is placed until it reaches your door. Your favorite Domino's pizzas are now online. Order online today at Domino's242.com. It's better than ever.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Alexei Navalny's mother has said she has been shown his body, but that Russian authorities were pressuring her to allow a secret burial. In a video address, Lyudmila Navalny said she had been brought to a morgue where she signed a death certificate. The former opposition leader's press secretary said a medical report presented to Ms. Navalny stated he died of natural causes. His widow and Western leaders say they believe he was killed by Russian authorities. However, the Kremlin has denied this. If your iPhone gets wet, Apple is now advising don't dry it in a bag of rice. Despite the technique's popularity, experts have long warned against it, with tests suggesting it doesn't work. And now the tech giant itself has published guidance telling users it could result in small particles of the grain damaging their devices. The firm said people should instead gently tap out any liquid with the phone connector facing down, then leave it to dry out. And nearly 1 month after having the company's chip implanted, Neuralink's first human trial participant can control a computer mouse with their brain. That's according to Elon Musk, who owns the controversial brain chip startup. In a video stream on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Monday, Musk said progress is good and that the patient seems to have made a full recovery. He said the patient is able to control the mouse and move the mouse around the screen just by thinking. Neuralink did not immediately respond to a request for comment. And back here at home, while Nassau got a largely unscathed by the 2023 hurricane season, it saw its fair share of flooding after bouts of rain. In tonight's Sustainability First report, Marlena Leonard looks at how planning for a more sustainable city could make a difference.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
Sustainable cities do more than implement more eco-friendly alternatives to traditional city planning. The greener adaptations can help reduce costs and create more opportunities for citizens to get out and socialize with their communities. But what does it take to become a sustainable city? In New Providence, a start could be an increased focus on public transportation methods. And this might look like creative solutions like electric trolley buses, or even things as simple as designating specific lanes for carpooling, electric cars, and buses. Most sustainable cities focus on public transport, clean energy, green buildings with rooftop gardens, increasing local food production to reduce shipping emissions, water conservation, and more public green spaces. And making these changes does more than just help the future. It can also help in the present, with the use of green energy and opting to construct green buildings, which can reduce power bills. Increased green spaces also help to reduce urban flooding and reduce the amount of heat trapped in roads and pavements, something we would all appreciate in the rainy and warm summer months. Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Still to come in Our News, Today in History, find out interesting facts about the day that was February 22nd. Then in Our News at 7:30, 6,000 driver's licenses not picked up. Why, if you're a recipient, you're being told to come and collect. Plus, police say perpetrators of derelict vehicles will be made to pay. When Our News returns.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter an innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
You want a real nice, tasty banging dish? There's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sunset out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the conch technician. When they ask me where I yearn by the conch. When they ask me where I yearn by Goldie. When they ask me where I yearn by the conch. When they ask me where I yearn by Goldie's. Arawaki's king of conch. We 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 yearn by Goldie's.
Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki, 325-4300. That's Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki, 325-4300.
Welcome back to Our News. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was February 22nd. Take a look. On this day in Bahamian history, in 1779, James Carmichael Smith was born in London, England. Smith was governor of the colony from 1829 to 1833. During his governorship, he abolished the flogging of enslaved females. The Historical Society notes the Pompey Rebellion on the Roll Estate in Steventon, Exuma, took place when he was governor. The area in southwestern New Providence known as Carmichael, which was settled by liberated Africans, is named after him. The Carmichael Primary School is also named in his honor. Then in 1905, Nelson Glanville McFarland Major was born in Burroughs Harbor, Long Island. Major was an educator, administrator, and justice of the peace. In recognition of his outstanding work, Major was awarded the British Empire Medal by Her Majesty the Queen in the Queen's Honors of 1952. Major, who founded the NGM Major High School, died in 1995 at the age of 90. In 1962, Lemuel Stephen Smith, better known by his stage name Stevie S., was born in Baileytown, Bimini. Smith is a singer, songwriter, and musician specializing in the genres of gumbe, jonkanu, rake and scrape, gospel, and Bahamian pop music. He is also known for his trademark "OE" in his songs. Some of his hits include You Got Me Thinkin', One More Sweet Song, and Hold Your Head. And finally, on this day in 2013, Bernard Kenneth B.K. Bonamy died in Nassau. He was 67. Bonamy was commissioner of the Royal Bahamas Police Force from 1987 to 1999. Then Prime Minister Perry Christie, who extended condolences on behalf of the government and people of the Bahamas, described him as a no-nonsense police chief who insisted on discipline, professionalism, and service with honor at all levels of the force. Christie noting that Bonamy made his most important contribution to national development when he ascended to the high office during the extremely difficult years when narcotics trafficking and associated criminality were at their height. In recognition of his duties, he received the Companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George from Prince Charles at Buckingham Palace in July 2002. All right, to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, remember you can visit ournews.bs and you can share your favorite stories right from the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. That's going to do it for us in News at 7, but joining us now is Natalia Hall with the latest headlines. And Natalia, I don't know if you saw that world news story we just did a minute ago, but Apple is saying, don't put your iPhone, if you've dropped it in water, in rice. Have you done that before?
So I've not done it with the iPhone, but I think in the past when I was much younger, if you remember Motorola, I had a Pebble.
I had the Motorola V360 and the V360.
So I did that.
And now I'm aging myself by saying
I did that then, and I don't remember it working, and so I've given up on the whole rice method. So I've never done it with the iPhones. If anything happens, I just wait a bit and get a new one.
Well, listen, I've done that.
Did it work?
I'll tell you, I got an iPhone 11. Mind you, just in case people don't know, iPhone 11 and up, you actually could drop those in water and it will still work. I dropped my iPhone 11 on a boat charter, Free Willy charter, and it dropped in the harbor. I got somebody to dive that phone up the next day, literally 24 hours later. And I had already gone to a live and switched my phone out and put it in a new phone, and the phone was still working. So I just say that to say I did put that phone in rice after the fact, but now that I'm learning I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it worked.
It worked. Well, Apple says not to do it, all right? Okay, well, thanks so much, Ken. Coming up tonight, over 6,000 driver's licenses waiting to be collected, and the Grand Bahama Business Outlook held this morning in the nation's second city. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, over 6,000 driver's licenses waiting to be picked up from the Road Traffic Department. We have the details straight ahead, plus the Ministry of Environment removing derelict vehicles from the Angostura community. Also, a tobacco and rum smuggling ring cracked by government. The Financial Secretary speaks. And later, hundreds attending the Grand Bahama Business Outlook. Hear how the Carnival Cruise Port and Airport is expected to impact that northern island when Our News Live at 7:30 returns. Doctors Hospital's reimagined primary care. We've invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Dinner is in the oven.
Order your favorite pizzas on the new Domino's242.com. Your favorite Domino's specials are all here to order. See your pizza as you build it, or order your favorite specialty and feast pizzas. See the progress of your pizza from the time your order is placed until it reaches your door. Your favorite Domino's pizzas are now online. Order online today at Domino's242.com. It's better than ever.
Welcome to Our News. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Traffic police confirming there are over 6,000 driver's licenses at the Road Traffic Department waiting to be picked up since 2022. The alarming number prompted a press conference at the Traffic Police Station on East-West Highway this afternoon. Second in charge of the Traffic Division, Superintendent Karan Jennings, shares the importance of road users having their licenses in their possession while driving.
If you don't have a driver's license, you could be ticketed, and the fine for that ticket is $250. Now, if you have a driver's license and it is not on your person, the fine will be a lesser fine, which is $40. Also, the importance of having a driver's license in an accident, a crash, where persons are injured and where persons are incapacitated, they look for compensation, and if you don't have a driver's license, that means you're not covered under any insurance.
He's telling all road users to collect their driver's licenses as soon as possible and gave an update on license plates.
There was a problem with the system lately, but the turnaround time for the driver's license is 2 to 3 days. So wherever you paid for your driver's license, you can collect your driver's license within 2 to 3 days. Also, license plates. There has been a setback with the license plates, but all license plates with AZ, beginning with AZ, they are ready for pickup, and also the license plates DA from 0 to 2200, they are ready for collections.
All right, well, the Ministry of Environment leading a cleanup effort in the Anglerston community this morning. The goal, to remove hundreds of derelict vehicles that officials have cited as a hiding spot for criminals. Megan Shepard was there and fills us in.
A multi-government agency effort underway in the inner city as several departments and ministries come together to undertake the mammoth task of removing almost 600 vehicles from the Anglerston community. Police say grounds like this can sometimes be a breeding ground for crime.
Now, this morning's exercise included the removal of several vehicles from private property. Minister of Housing and Urban Renewal Keith Bell shares the government's plan for tackling this issue in the future.
We are here to work with owners who are desirous of selling their properties to the government to put low-cost homes on these properties. And in areas such as this property where we find properties have been abandoned by their owners, we are going to compulsory acquire those properties.
Environment Minister Vaughn Miller says a survey was conducted and it was discovered that Anglerston was the most challenged area.
We want this to be the beginning of us reintroducing that culture to our people. Our inner city communities have changed.
And for those that continue to break the law by dumping derelict vehicles, State Minister Zane Lightbourne says,
someone asks about payment, the persons who actually are the perpetrators of this type of activity, they're the ones who are going to help to pay for this because they're going to be made to pay.
Acting Director in the Department of Environmental Services, Lana Williams, says health inspectors have been consistently monitoring and citing those in violation of the law. She adds that vector control officers have also been throughout the community. Now, the initiative will also target scrapyards and mechanics. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Roll says if your vehicles or scrap material is not contained within your property, you too can face fines. If you have derelict vehicles on your property or throughout your neighborhood, you are encouraged to reach out. Now, while the vehicles were being searched before removal, an imitation firearm was discovered in one of them. A 24-hour hotline has also been established for your environmental concerns. Residents can contact 322-8037 to report matters within their community. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
Thanks for that, Megan. While businesses have seen a decline in the sale of tobacco and rum amid a smuggling ring recently cracked by government. Financial Secretary Simon Wilson made the revelation today, saying the ring will impact government revenue.
What we realized was that legitimate importers of alcohol and tobacco saw a consistent decline in their sales. So we recoup it by discouraging persons from smuggling, and then people will purchase from legitimate importers and distributors who pay their taxes.
Wilson says 2 months ago, over $1 million in cash and goods were seized. Prime Minister Philip Davis made the revelation during his mid-year budget statement on Wednesday. Wilson explained how smugglers got the goods into the country.
There are two main ways. One, they are hidden in containers, large-scale smuggling. So you might put a container and have it as building material, and we caught one where there was bill of material and there was 12 pallets of beer. They declare bill of material. Most bill of materials are duty free. Beer is like at 40%. All right. The other way, especially for tobacco, is they just put it in the luggage.
A man who was convicted of incest after he raped his biological daughter will remain behind bars after losing his appeal against his conviction and sentence. The 48-year-old man, who cannot be identified to protect his victim, was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the crimes. During his trial, the court heard that the man raped his daughter, taking her virginity at the age of 15. He raped her again when she was 16 on his birthday. Well, hundreds gathering at the Grand Lucayan Resort today for the 2024 Grand Bahama Business Outlook. Hear how the new Carnival cruise port and plans for a new airport is expected to make a major impact on that island's economy. We'll get to that story in about 5 minutes, but first, nice weather conditions outside the Our News studios this evening. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome everybody for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. Few clouds, temperatures in the low 70s, 71 degrees. The winds are out of the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour. Your field strike temperature is at 69. Satellite radar composite showing nothing much happening across us. Some patchy clouds, all associated with a dry air mass in place. High pressure across our area. Starting to slide out towards the east. That high is going to allow our winds to turn more towards the east-southeast, allowing us to warm up for tomorrow. A weak boundary just between us and the Florida East Coast, keeping a couple isolated showers, but most of those showers will stay to the west of us. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, the Deputy Prime Minister shares big investments for the island of Grand Bahama at the Grand Bahama Business Outlook. Plus, brimming with opportunity. Government says Grand Bahama is filled with potential. We'll tell you all about the recent Entrepreneurial Expo. And beyond the court, hear from a former basketball coach who has assisted with the development of many successful young men in the country. That's all coming up when Our News returns.
They're on sale. Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper says Grand Bahama is set to have the world's largest cruise lines project on planet Earth. His comments came at Grand Bahama's Business Outlook this morning. This after he shared Carnival Cruise Line's intention to go beyond their $500 million investment for the island, which was previously announced.
Carnival plans to expand its footprint with an additional investment of $100 million. Ultimately, Carnival's Project Celebration Key will be a $600 million project that will welcome nearly 4 million guests annually to Grand Bahama by 2028. I want to point out that this is the largest carnival project anywhere in the world.
Cooper also touching on the highly anticipated construction of a new Grand Bahama International Airport. He says the Manchester Airport Group has been mandated to update the business plan and complete conceptual designs in the next 45 days. He adds that the demolition phase will begin even before that deadline.
The involvement of a local Grand Bahama construction company for the demolition phase commencing within the next 30 days underscores a dedication to empowering local businesses and integrating them into the fabric of our developmental narrative. We anticipate that when the vertical construction begins, it will move rapidly, and we are still hopeful for completion in 2025.
All right, well, Grand Bahamian entrepreneurs getting the opportunity to advance their businesses at the second Entrepreneurial Expo held in the city of Freeport this week. Deputy Prime Minister says the move is no mistake as government seeks to further educate entrepreneurs about upcoming business opportunities on that northern island.
There's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur than right now.
The room was filled with small and medium-sized business owners as they gathered for the 2024 Grand Bahama Entrepreneurial Expo in Freeport at the Foster B. Pastena Center Hall. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper assured residents that government sees lots of opportunities in Grand Bahama. The DPM also revealing out of the 9.65 million record-breaking tourism numbers for 2023, government recognized that Grand Bahama is the fastest-growing destination in the Bahamas for air arrivals.
I got a feeling that that's going to change. In fact, I would go on record as telling you that in my forecast, Grand Bahama is the fastest growing destination in the Bahamas by cruise.
He also told the group to take advantage of the growth that is to come on that northern island and says now is the time to begin planning.
And this is why it is important right now to be well positioned.
Minister for Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie also addressed the entrepreneurs. Moxie says government is working on several other initiatives to assist business owners. She noted that through CoLab and the Empower Grand Bahama Micro Grant Program alone, some 130 grants were awarded to those in the orange economy last year.
With a major cruise port in development that will come on stream in 2025, as well as over $2 billion of investments on our island, the need to prepare our people and develop our product offerings has never been more critical.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, a Grand Bahama native who's helped to better the lives of young men through the game of basketball is telling her story tonight.
Coming up in sports, a huge night for basketball both locally and abroad. We also have the return of the Junior National Sailing Championships.
I get it. You can order stuff on wimauto.com and pay for it online.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Online is just the first step.
They have next weekday delivery in Nassau Monday to Friday.
What if I don't live in Nassau?
Wimauto.com will send it to the mailbox.
What if I don't want nobody knowing where I live?
They have a store.
What if I don't want to come inside because I don't like air conditioning?
They have a drive-thru.
If you love wimauto.com so much, why don't you just marry it?
If Wim Auto starts selling fries, we're going to have to reassess this entire relationship. Okay, one.
only way today you're going to double the size of your company is get twice as productive as you were 3 years ago.
So when we make an AI system, it seems like it's objective, it seems like it's smarter than us, but in reality, it actually is going to reflect in scale all the harms that we see in the world today.
Governments, regional blocs, and other multilateral institutions must show that they are willing to use regulatory levers to limit emissions.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
This is our news. Welcome back. Tonight, we hear the inspiring story of a Grand Bahama native who's opened up her home to young boys seeking to better their lives through the game of basketball. Our Joshua Williams caught up with Coach Baston and has this report.
A staple in the Grand Bahama sports community for decades, Baston volunteered as coach of the Sunland Baptist senior men's basketball team. But for her, it goes beyond the court.
25 years I've opened my home. I'm celebrating my 25th anniversary this year, and I've opened my home to a lot of the youth from all over the Bahamas.
And with the state of crime in the country, Baston believes programs like hers are key in changing young men's lives.
It's amazing that these young men choose to use the game of basketball as an avenue to be successful, to play basketball at another level, or just to get gainful occupation. And over the years, I've had about 150 boys live with me and pass through my home.
The process, however, was not as easy. Now mostly limited to a wheelchair and medical machinery due to health reasons, Baston says it hasn't kept her from enjoying the game she loves.
You know what, I still have a lot to thank God for, because a lot of people, this could have been a lot worse. So I am still able, even in my inability, I'm still able to do what I love, attend games, still be around the boys. I still have housing the boys. I have 7 boys live with me now, so I'm still grateful. I cannot get up and jump up and down. I could walk. It's just that walking, I get out of breath a lot. But I'm still mobile. I'm still enjoying life.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, great news from Ms. Baston. Well, the Rattlers and Singers taking part in the Hugh Campbell Championship game and the Junior National Sailing Championships gets underway in the capital. Here now with Our Sports presented by 10th year seniors is Ronaldo and John Mark. Ronaldo?
Thanks, Italia, and welcome to Our Sports presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. The first window of FIBA America qualifiers tips off tonight, and Team Bahamas is taking on Puerto Rico. John Mark is on the ground in San Juan. Now, John, you know I like to measure sports by the intangibles, so give me a vibe check for Team Bahamas right now.
I mean, the vibe check's always there. We're island boys, if you want to say it. The team's always upbeat, happy, playing the music in practice, so I don't see in any way, shape, or form how Team Bahamas isn't confident going into this game.
And we talked a lot about the new additions to the roster. Tell us about new additions to the coaching staff and the impact that that'll have.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We did interview Aaron yesterday, and so now we have his brother as well, Evan, who is going to be the first assistant coach with Moses Johnson, and he knows how important this is, just not for his family, but for the Bahamas.
Just blessed to be Bahamian. Our mother has always been pushing us to do more, help out more, and now that we have the opportunity to do it, we're definitely going to take advantage of it and make sure that we represent Bahamas to the fullest.
There's always a lot of moving parts when it comes to Team Bahamas and the senior men's national team, but we were able to speak to LJ Rose about the roster construction.
We put a really good team together for this window. We put a really good staff together, of which it has former players that have played on our national team as well, and they're coaching in America and the States at the collegiate level. So for us, it's like we're keeping everything in the system.
Make sure to stay tuned to Our Sports presented by 10th year seniors for the latest updates in the AmeriCup qualifiers. Back to you, Ronaldo.
A field of 23 teams is now down to just 2. The Sunland Stingers and C.I. Gibson Rattlers will once again face off to decide the Hugh Campbell title. Let's take a look at how these teams got here. Both semifinals this morning were rematches of their respective leagues. In the GSSA Finals rematch, the Rattlers defeated the Anatole Rogers T-Wolves 61-51. Deshaun Butler scored 27, while Stavanko Jacks had 12 points and 16 boards. The GBSSAA Final also had the same result here at Hugh Campbell when the Stingers defeated the Tabernacle Falcons 66-57. Denaj Kelly had 21 points and Edwin Ferguson scored 16. The Stingers are going for their 3rd consecutive Hugh Campbell title, while the Rattlers are chasing their 6th title in school history. Tip-off is just about an hour away at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. The Sedgwick Knowles Junior National Sailing Championship set sail today in Montague Bay for the first time since 2018. 11 teams from across the country are participating in 3 competitive days of sailing, including teams from Eleuthera, Long Island, Exuma, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and New Providence. Long Islander Norman Cartwright got off to a fast start with 2 wins in the laser class. That'll do it for Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. For John Mark Nutt in Puerto Rico, I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, nice weather conditions in the capital on this Thursday. Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
If new, Heineken Silver was a riveting Viking saga.
Last the 12th, your family tortured my first wife and stole my second favorite goat. Now you want to marry my daughter. Okay.
All the taste, no bitter endings. Smooth, fresh, silver.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Upgrade your internet service with a live business and save big. You get the extreme speed and reliability of a live business internet. Designed for all your business needs. And installation is free. You're gonna save big with a live business internet. It's the best in business solutions. Contact the experts today for more details. Email businesssolutions@cablebahamas.com or call 601-8911 in Nassau and 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Welcome back to our news. Fairly cool temperatures on this Thursday evening. Greg is back in the Weather Center with their extended forecast. Greg?
Yeah, thanks again, Natalia. Welcome back, everybody, for our final check of weather. Quiet weather across us, warmer temperatures as that high-pressure system is now across our area directly. But that high is continuing to slide out towards the east. That will turn our winds more towards the east to southeast. So we are going to see some warmer temperatures for tomorrow. Temperatures should get near the 80-degree mark, and then a frontal boundary is expected to get near by Saturday into Sunday, so we could see some isolated showers. That system is taking shape across the southeastern United States. Not showing up really right now, but a low-pressure system is expected to develop, and of course, that low pressure will bring that frontal boundary across us through the weekend. Future forecast, quiet across our area, a couple of spotty showers just to the west of Andros, mainly between us and the Florida East Coast, but here comes that front. Very weak one. A couple isolated showers expected with that. Friday, it should be across the central portions of the United States and then across our area. Saturday, we expect that front to be in our general vicinity by the afternoon hours. And as I mentioned, a couple isolated showers expected with that. Boating forecast. Still a challenge out there for you boaters and you beachgoers. We're asking you to exercise some caution, mainly in the Atlantic exposures and beachgoers. There's still a risk of some recurrence. Southeast winds initially tonight to early tomorrow, but they become more to south to southwest at 15 knots across the northwest Bahamas seas, 2 to 4 feet, up to 7 feet in northeasterly swells along Atlantic exposures. High tide is at 6:46 tonight. The low tide taking place at 12:50 in the morning. For the central and southeastern islands, caution flag in place for you guys as well, but our winds more southeast to south, 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet, but up to 7 feet along Atlantic exposures. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, quiet weather. We're going to see some sunny and breezy conditions by the afternoon across our area. Then that front boundary gets in here by Saturday, increasing some showers. Temperatures will stay in the upper 70s and near the 80-degree mark. But once that front goes through, temperatures take a dip for the early part of next week, and then we rise again by middle of next week to near the 80-degree mark. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night and stay safe, everybody.
All right, thanks, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.